Hi, Brigham. Oh,
Hey,
there we
Mandy.
go. Sorry, I
Yay,
don't know
we're
why it
live.
wasn't popping up with you there. So I was like, is it not working?
Yeah.
So then I closed it out and restarted everything. So sorry
And it
if
was weird
we.
because, like, I know that that's happened
I also was
before.
like, maybe you thought it was a different time when I saw your message. So I was like, I don't know, maybe we have to move. But how are you
It-
feeling? Is your voice feeling better?
yes, yes, for the time being. You know?
Okay. Yeah. I know too, like when I haven't been feeling my best, I try to just be conscientious about what my body needs. So if,
Mhm.
my voice is like, hey, I'm a little tired, or, I need like a little 5-second break or whatever, I take it, I get some water, I breathe for a second. So we'll just listen to what your voice and body need for today. But I just wanted to check that your voice is feeling good since I know that you were under the weather. Um,
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people have been getting colds and flu and stuff. I think with school starting back, and then like as the weather starts getting a little bit cooler and starts changing, just kind of
yeah,
happens. So
yeah.
I just got my flu shot today. So I was like,
Oh, how
my throat
fun.
feels a tiny bit scratchy now, but that's all
Yeah.
right. I'm like, at least I'll get it out of the way early and then fingers crossed I won't get like a bad flu bug.
I know.
Right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
have noticed like anytime I had a break today, I was just like, I'm gonna go lie down.
yeah,
I'm like, man, it really tuckers you out. Like my
yeah,
immune system is working in overdrive. So,
yeah, yeah.
but
We're
yeah,
just
I just,
just like tired and
yeah,
yeah,
you've got to pay attention to what your body needs. So, yeah, I was like,
yeah,
maybe he's still under the weather. But then I saw your text and I was like, clearly something's going on. So, yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Well, and
glad
it
we
gave me
connected.
the usual message. Yeah, it gave me the usual like host is online. We've notified them that you're here, and like I know
Oh,
that
so it
that's
told
given
you
us
I was
problems.
there. It didn't tell me
Yeah,
you were there. It normally
yeah.
pops up and like shows participants, and then it has like a button pop up that I just push and let you in. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just gets
Sometimes
from
when I just
it's
go
also under the
like
weather
meeting
sometimes.
to meeting to meeting, it seems
Yeah.
to get confused. Like it seems to be happier if I like finish with one person and close it out and reopen it. Sometimes
Yeah.
I think it gets bogged down or something.
Oh, gotcha.
But
Gotcha,
yeah, so
gotcha.
I closed it out and came back on, and then you like popped right up, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there we
It also
go.
needs a break sometimes. Yeah.
It needs a break. Exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad your voice is feeling good. So
Yeah.
tell me, what were you thinking you'd like to focus on? I know we've been working on narration, but also with some dialogue. And I've really enjoyed working on those components. I feel like we've definitely seen a lot of growth with developing character voices and also some dialect work, contrasting characters, like when we had two different old women characters, which obviously are going to be a little out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, so how are you feeling about those kind of pieces that we've been working on?
Okay. So because I also feel like I'm making a lot of progress in that.
Yeah.
I did, I didn't get the chance to actually do what you assigned me to do and actually really focus on it this past cycle. So I was wondering if we could put it off one more time. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
because I actually want to do the record it through once, straight through, and then the
Yeah.
breaking it down into individual things because I want to actually give it the focus that I feel like it deserves.
Nice. Absolutely. I love that. Right. It's like that. I want to do it right kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I'm a little like that. I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it well, otherwise why
yeah.
bother?
I didn't want to, yeah, try cramming it in this afternoon. I'm like,
Yeah, no, absolutely. For sure. That you didn't want to like stress yourself out and then just kind
yeah,
of like halfway. Yeah, totally
yeah,
get that. No problem
yeah,
at all. So, what
yeah.
would you say today would be the key things that you're wanting to mainly focus on and that you're like, I really want to grow and improve in these areas?
So, and I don't know how you feel about it whenever I do this, but like every now and then, whenever we get super focused in one area, I occasionally like to take a week and focus on something else. Take a small break
Okay, yeah.
almost. Um, and there is something that I think we've played with in the past, um, but that I always feel like I could always improve on, and that's
Mm-hmm.
um, and that's longer narration stretches. Specifically, and not just like, he went to the this and then he did this and then blah
Yeah.
blah blah, but more like when it's like the person thinking, and
Sure.
it's like kind of half dialogue, but also it's the
Mm.
narrator
Like
just
a
saying,
first person narrative where it is a character, but it's from their perspective, kind of like
yeah, or no,
hearing
or
their
like an
internal
omnipotent,
monologue.
yeah, or an
Yeah.
omnipotent like narrator, third
Mm.
person. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I totally get that. Because then you have the challenge of having to stay in character through all of that, which,
Mhm.
if you're just narrating, you're like, oh, I just read it out loud as myself. But then it's
Yeah.
like I have to narrate as though I am someone else, which is
Well,
a little different.
yeah, and it's interesting because like, like sometimes I'll listen to an audiobook of, of whatever it is that I'm reading, and I've noticed that if it's ever like, the narrator talking about their a certain character's thoughts, and they go on like these tangents, these really delving into what they're thinking, but it's still the
Mhm.
narrator and there's no quotation marks. The
Ah,
narrator
yeah.
tends to do, like, still speak as just the narrator, but also it's almost like kind of a little, they add a little tiny hint of, it's like the narrator, but a little bit speaking a little bit more dramatically.
Yeah.
But yeah, um,
Okay.
yeah,
And is that a little intimidating, that like more dramatic kind of feel?
I think it's more just how to keep it flowing and really keep it, because because there are a lot of books
Ah.
where where people will go on these monologues,
Mm-hmm.
or the narrator will go on this really good to read monologue,
Mm-hmm.
but or really delving into someone's thoughts,
Right.
but to actually read it out loud, it's like
For sure.
a little bit more intimidating. I
Yeah,
even have
I
like
I definitely get that.
yeah, I even have like a specific like example that I was like, I kind of want to bring this to Andy and see.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. Yeah, so why don't you show me what you found and we can dive right in.
Cool. Um, this is, like I said, like these monologues and delving into people's thoughts, they tend to kind of go on for a bit.
That's
This is just
okay.
half of one,
Great.
and even this one I need to post in two halves.
Yeah, because they're too long and you have to chop it up.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, the first half. Um, so yeah, this is from the book Something Wicked This Way Comes, which starting to get a little bit into fall. So I was like,
Yeah, you're like, I think this fits.
yeah,
Great. So tell me a little bit about, hmm. So this is kind of like you were saying, where it is narration, but it's from the perspective of that character.
mhm,
So it is like storytelling, but also telling their perspective, right? Um,
yeah, kind of omnipotent
exactly. Yeah.
narrator.
Hmm. Yeah, like they're all knowing, all powerful. They are the god of this universe, this book
Yeah,
universe. Yeah. So, um, yeah, so tell me a little bit about the general mood and the energy that we have through here. What would you say are kind of the emotions?
it's it's a very I'd say it's a very unique blend of ominous and and uh, melancholy, or sad
Mm,
melancholy. Um,
okay.
like
Yeah.
like because this comes like while there's the entire book is at this point building up very ominously towards something.
Mm,
Um, and occasionally the 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 straight up scary stuff will kind of take a break and just kind of go to kind of this almost sad reflection kind of, but that's also kind
yeah.
of ominous in the way that it will talk about things.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's dark, if I could say that.
Yeah. I
It's
definitely noticed that.
yeah, not
Yeah.
like not like disturbing dark, but like, it really like just speaks to your soul and like dark, you know,
Yeah, for sure. So
a very
then,
human kind of dark.
right. Uh-huh. That we're um it's not just like dark for the sake of being dark. It like has humanity to it. It allows us insight and understanding of the character. Um,
Yeah, it's trying to deliver a message and relate to how humans feel. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. All right. So then, um, okay. So how would you start it? Do you feel like you want to just kind of read it in your own voice, but just with that kind of emotion? Are you wanting to um like turn this into a certain like character voice? What are you thinking?
So I definitely wouldn't use the full, you know, character voice of
Right.
Charles Holloway. Um, it would definitely still be the my narrator voice, but I feel like I would
Yeah.
just kind of let the narrator voice a little bit more loose
Okay.
and maybe try to sound like him, try to sound the way that he feels.
Ah, I love that. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So putting the emotion into it. Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
great. Awesome. So let's go ahead and just try to read it with that kind of emotional energy.
Okay. 3 in the morning, thought Charles Holloway. It's a special hour. Women never wake then, do they? They sleep the sleep of babes and children. But men in middle age, they know that hour well. Oh God, midnight's bad. Midnight's not bad. You wake and go back to sleep. You wake and go back to sleep. 1 or 2's not bad. You toss but sleep again. 5 or 6 in the morning, there's hope, for dawn's just under the horizon. But now, 3 a.m. Doctors say the body is at low tide then. The soul is out. The blood moves slow. You're the nearest to dead you'll ever be, save dying. Sleep is a patch of death, but 3 in the morn, full wide eyed staring, is living death. You dream with your eyes open. If you had strength to rouse up, you'd slaughter your half dreams with buckshot. But no, you lie pinned to a deep well bottom that's burned dry. The moon rolls by to look at you down there with its idiot face. It's a long way back to sunset, a far way on to dawn. So you summon all the fool things of your life, the stupid, lovely things done with people known so well who are now so very dead. And wasn't it true? Had he read it somewhere? More people in hospitals die at 3 a.m. than at any other time.
Nice. All right. Good. So it has kind of a heaviness to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would say it's going to be slower. It's going to feel like weighty. We're going to really lean into certain words that we feel like are more important than others. So what maybe I also think you can let it have a little more room to breathe. So really enjoy the pauses a little bit more, really pay attention to the punctuation. Let that guide you a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did you like about it and what would you change about it?
Um, I feel like I did a pretty good job of finding kind of that tone that I want. That like I feel like you said it best. So that kind of that heaviness, um, especially because it's kind of it, it's supposed to have kind of almost this tiredness, this um, yeah, this heaviness to it. Especially because it's kind of what this kind of older man is thinking as he's reflecting on life in the middle of the night. Um, and so yeah, I feel like the tone I feel like was I feel like I was heading in the right direction. I feel like it's what I kind of want it to be. If but like you said, it could still have a bit more room to kind of breathe and kind of relish in it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, and I feel like I didn't take it too fast, even though I could definitely
Yeah, no,
really
I agree with that. I didn't feel like you were rushing or anything. I just feel like you could even try slowing down a little bit more.
yeah, no, I agree.
Great. All right. So let's go ahead and try it again.
Okay. 3 in the morning, thought Charles Holloway. It's a special hour. Women never wake then, do they? They sleep the sleep of babes and children, but men in middle age, they know that hour well. Oh God, midnight's not bad. You wake and go back to sleep. 1 or 2's not bad. You toss but sleep again. 5 or 6 in the morning, there's hope, for dawn's just under the horizon. But three now, 3 a.m. Doctors say the body's at low tide then. The soul is out. The blood moves slow. You're the nearest to dead you'll ever be, save dying. Sleep is a patch of death, but 3 in the morn, full wide-eyed staring, is living death. You dream with your eyes open. If you had strength to rouse up, you'd slaughter your half dreams with buckshot. But no, you lie pinned to a deep well bottom that's burned dry. The moon rolls by to look at you down there with its idiot face. It's a long way back to sunset, a far way on to dawn. So you summon all the fool things of your life, the stupid, lovely things done with people known so very well, who are now so very dead. And wasn't it true? Had he read it somewhere? More people in hospitals die at 3 a.m. than at any other time.
Nice. I really like how you made it sound like he's wondering or being like, wait, didn't I read something about this or hear this? Like
Mhm.
he's kind of puzzling over it.
Yeah,
I like that it's not confident, that he's sort of self-doubting.
yeah, yeah. Because it is still an insight into his mind, and he's not saying all of this like this is truth. It's like this is just like what he's just thinking to himself. So it's like it's not going to be solid or firm or
Yes.
statement of fact.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Okay, so then yeah, so what would you say would be mm, What would you say would be your favorite thing about what you just did?
Um, Again, I feel like I like the tone of voice. Like I feel like I got the voice pretty solid, and
Hmm.
and I especially when you have like a long portion of narration, I think uh, I naturally just tend to feel like I'm probably like really dragging or like I'm still going, I'm still going, and you feel I feel kind of like this tendency to need to kind of rush it along. Um, but but that time I feel like I really took my time and
Yeah.
and it wasn't that bad. So
Awesome. Good.
yeah.
I mean, I would say it was better than not bad.
Oh, thanks.
Awesome. All right. So I feel like I might play with giving this character a little more of like a grizzled kind of feeling, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's like they're a bit worn.
Hmm. So like maybe add a touch of his actual character voice to to the narration.
Yeah.
But but like not necessarily but don't actually like full on do it in his
Yeah, that it's more like it's just just a touch of like a hoarseness or like a tiny bit of grit or something. Like, when someone's really tired and their voice just suddenly just like sounds really tired, like
yeah.
he's just worn.
Mhm. Okay. So don't go full on character voice, but
Right.
add that quality to it. Okay. Okay. 3 in the morning, thought Charles Holloway. It's a special hour. Women never wake then, do they? They sleep the sleep of babes and children, but men in middle age, they know that hour well. Oh God, midnight's not bad. You wake and go back to sleep. 1 or 2's not bad. You toss but sleep again. 5 or 6 in the morning, there's hope, for dawn's just under the horizon. But 3, no, 3 a.m. Doctors say the body's at low tide then. The soul is out. The blood moves slow. You're the nearest to dead you'll ever be, save dying. Sleep is a patch of death, but 3 in the morn, full wide-eyed staring, is living death. You dream with your eyes open. If you had strength to rouse up, you'd slaughter your half-dreams with buckshot. But no, you lie pinned to a deep well bottom that's burned dry. The moon rolls by to look at you down there with its idiot face. It's a long way back to sunset, a far way on to dawn. So you summon all the fool things of your life, the stupid, lovely things done with people known so very well, who are now so very dead. And wasn't it true, had he read it somewhere, more people in hospitals die at 3 a.m. than at any other time?
Nice. What did you think of that? It definitely was different.
Yeah, it definitely was different. I I feel like might I feel like I would maybe want to tone it back a little bit, but maybe that's just me.
Okay.
Um, since just because I feel when I think of like the character voice that I would probably do for this guy, it probably would be not too far off from that. Um, um, just maybe a little bit more energized, but I also don't want to like, but also at the same time, it's like if maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing to cross over a bit more. Um, Maybe I don't need to stay so far on the narrator side. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think it's a choice.
Mhm,
You know, you only know what you know until you get direction from them, right?
mhm.
Yeah. So, if you were making the choice for yourself, what would you decide?
I think I would do a mix. I would try to find somewhere in between the that last one and the one before. So maybe not quite so in character, but
Okay, yeah,
add a little bit
absolutely.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little more leaning towards the narrator. Love it. Awesome. Good. So, who do you think, if you picked someone to emulate or model after that you think would do a really good job of this, who do you think would do a good job of it?
Hmm. First person that comes to mind is probably Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay. Love it. All right, so you are going to channel your Tommy Lee Jones and try it again.
Hmm. Need to not try not insert like a twang or something like that. 3 in the morning, thought Charles Holloway. It's a special hour. Women never wake then, do they? They sleep the sleep of babes and children, but men in middle age, they know that hour well. Oh God, midnight's not bad. You wake and go back to sleep. 1 or 2's not bad. You toss but sleep again. 5 or 6 in the morning, there's hope, for dawn's just under the horizon. But now 3 a.m. Doctors say the body's at low tide then. The soul is out. The blood moves slow. You're the nearest to dead you'll ever be, save dying. Sleep is a patch of death, but 3 in the morn, full wide eyed staring, is living death. You dream with your eyes open. If you had strength to rouse up, you'd slaughter your half dreams with buckshot. But no, you lie pinned to a deep well bottom that's burned dry. The moon rolls by to look at you down there with its idiot face. It's a long way back to sunset, a far way on to dawn. So you summon all the fool things in your life, the stupid, lovely things done with people known so very well, who are now so very dead. And wasn't it true that he read it somewhere? More people in hospitals die at 3 a.m. than at any other time.
Nice. Good. All right. So, what did you think of that? How was it different? What did you like
I,
about it? What did you not like?
I, even though like Tommy Lee Jones is who I was picturing, like I was very, it's like I was just kind of like very gently kind of tap it every now and then. I feel like
Mm.
I was trying hard not to actually sound like him. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but like just some of the inflections,
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
was
say
trying.
I didn't feel like you full on like became him. So you just allowed him to influence your choices and maybe have a little different perspective.
Yeah, yeah, like I noticed with like you know 5 or 6 in the morning, there's hope for dawn's just under the horizon, and
Hmm.
like just the emphasis that I did in that line, I was like. I was like that. Okay, that was very Tommy Lee Jones. Like he would,
Yeah, no, I could see that. Yeah.
yeah. Except he'd be like 5 or 6 in the morning. There's hope for dawn's just under the horizon. But
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, nice. So, yeah, so what would you say, um, is the number one takeaway from that? The thing that stood out to you the most as being like, this is the thing I like best about what you just did.
I I like how I'm still going slow, and that I'm usually by this point I I've already started to say like I'm starting to rush again. Like I should really slow it down. But I feel like I'm taking this at a good pace.
I think so. I really like the pacing. What about the pitch variation or more monotone? Do you like what you're doing? Do you feel like you could use more or less?
I actually feel like it's pretty good. Um, Especially because I feel like if I was narrating a book like this, I wouldn't be super like, you know, like 5 or 6 in the morning. There's hope for dawn's just under the horizon. Like I feel like the entire thing's supposed to have kind of this almost just kind of chill, low, but like still like still storytelling. But I feel like just for the ambiance that it's wanting, it needs it
Hmm.
needs to kind of have that kind of constant low,
Yeah.
not get not get too almost like you're too tired to to get that into it.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
yeah,
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. That you're like, I am too drained to give you any more than this.
yeah,
This is all I got.
yeah, and maybe almost like a little bit of maybe almost a little bit of resignation in the tone,
Okay.
kind of like you're making all these observations and kind of
Hmm.
you know kind of scary or sad observations, but
Sure.
but they don't really phase you anymore.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just kind of like
It is
just
what
like
it is.
that's
Like maybe
life.
you used to get upset about it and you're like, I can't anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So then let's go ahead and let's try that again. And I also want you to maybe make it a little bit more monotone and maybe a little more like consistent pacing throughout.
Mhm. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna I feel like I'm probably gonna like lean a lot more into the how I would just like narrate this
Sure.
if I wasn't
Okay.
if I wasn't putting as much effort into it.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, just so I can try to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
3 in the morning, thought Charles Holloway. It's a special hour. Women never wake then, do they? They sleep the sleep of babes and children, but men in middle age, they know that hour well. Oh God, midnight's not bad. You wake and go back to sleep. 1 or 2's not bad. You toss, but sleep again. 5 or 6 in the morning, there's hope, for dawn's just under the horizon. But 3 now, 3 a.m. Doctors say the body's at low tide then. The soul is out. The blood moves slow. You're the nearest to dead you'll ever be, save dying. Sleep is a patch of death, but 3 in the morn, full wide eyed staring, is living death. You dream with your eyes open. If you had strength to rouse up, you'd slaughter your half dreams with buckshot. But no, you lie pinned to a deep well bottom that's burned dry. The moon rolls by to look at you down there with its idiot face. It's a long way back to sunset, far way on to dawn. So you summon all the fool things of your life, the stupid, lovely things done with people known so very well, who are now so very dead. And wasn't it true? Had he read it somewhere? More people in hospitals die at 3 a.m. than at any other time.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, what do you think of that one?
Um, I there was something. It it was different, kind of like with that
Mm,
one. It was like it was different, but I also liked it.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if it would if after these two paragraphs I would be like, okay, no, it's time to, you know, you know, add a little bit more to it. But just for those two paragraphs, I thought that it actually sounded pretty good. Um, but so yeah, it's like you said, it's kind of choices, finding a happy medium. It's uh, I did
Yeah, I
like.
definitely felt like it was different than any other that I've ever heard you do. Like
Hmm,
it truly sounded to me like you were kind of tired, like that you were like, I'm exhausted and I don't have the energy to care, which I don't feel like we've ever really leaned into something like that before.
hmm. Well, and I could also understand why, because I mean, I feel like that's kind of a dangerous approach to take, because if someone sounds kind of drowsy,
But that could be what they're going for. Like I think it's great to have options, you
Mhm.
know? So, yeah, I think that could be really important.
Yeah, yeah, and and I don't know, I feel like I kind of like being able to tell that it's that yes, this is what he's thinking, but like this is very much the author speaking, um, almost like the author's kind of it's like this isn't Charles Halloway talking. This is it's like almost like you can tell that this is the author, like the
Hmm.
author's thoughts just kind of being channeled through, and that he's the one that's talking, and that he is this kind of constant presence,
Yeah.
constantly aware, constantly there.
Hmm.
Um, and and I kind of like giving it more to the author rather than the
Yeah.
character. Uh, Even though I still feel like it still should be like kind of a good medium, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you feel like you would want to change it some more, or did you like that?
Um, I don't think I'd want to make it. Well, I might have leaned a little too much into the tired thing.
Okay. Yeah, that you're like, maybe I did too much of that. So we'd kind
Yeah,
of reel it back
like
a little bit.
yeah, like it was good. It was just like it wouldn't be something that I'd be able to really, I think, hold up consistently. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that it's like this feels too unnatural. You don't know if you could sustain it. I think that is completely fair, especially when you have a full book that you're like, could I do this consistently? I
yeah,
don't know that
yeah,
I could, especially
yeah,
if you had to do multiple days, because sometimes I'm like, there's no way I can do this whole book in one day, and
yeah,
sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'll remember what I did the day before, like if everything's really a stretch for me, or it could just
yeah,
be really exhausting. So I think that's fair. Checking in with yourself and going, what is sustainable for me?
hmm,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So good. So let's try it again
Okay,
and just follow your instincts with it.
okay. 3 in the morning, thought Charles Halloway. It's a special hour. Women never wake then, do they? They sleep the sleep of babes and children, but men in middle age, they know that hour well. Oh God, midnight's not bad. You wake and go back to sleep. One or two's not bad. You toss but sleep again. 5 or 6 in the morning, there's hope, for dawn's just under the horizon. But three now, 3 a.m. Doctors say the body's at low tide then. The soul is out. The blood moves slow. You're the nearest to dead you'll ever be, save dying. Sleep is a patch of death, but 3 in the morn, full wide-eyed staring, is living death. You dream with your eyes open. If you had strength to rouse up, you'd slaughter your half-dreams with buckshot. But no, you lie pinned to a deep well bottom that's burned dry. The moon rolls by to look at you down there with its idiot face. It's a long way back to sunset, a far way on to dawn. So you summon all the fool things in your life, the stupid, lovely things done with people known so very well who are now so very dead. And wasn't it true? Had he read it somewhere? More people in hospitals die at 3 a.m. than at any other time.
Good. I have a question. Do you
Yeah.
actually think that's interesting?
Yes.
It didn't sound like you actually thought it was interesting to me.
Fetch. Dang it. Okay.
Can we say maybe just the last couple lines again?
Yeah. It's a long way back to sunset, a far way on to dawn. So you summon all the fool things in your life, the stupid, lovely things done with people known so very well who are now so very dead. And wasn't it true? Had he read it somewhere? More people in hospitals die at 3 a.m. than at any other time.
Nice.
Is that
Awesome.
better?
That was better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a subtle difference, but it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to still have that same kind of mellowy, kind of worn vibe, but I still want it to be like, huh,
Yeah.
interesting thought,
Wasn't
you
true.
know?
He read it
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that a little bit better. It's a subtle difference, but it is a difference. Yeah, nice. What did you like best about that?
I I feel like I was starting to get a good balance.
Yeah.
Of like I feel like I still sounded a little bit worn, but
Mm.
I also feel like if I had been narrating up until that point, it wouldn't be like wait, is this still the narrator or is this like
Yeah.
what like the sudden shift like or like not too dramatic of a shift to be like distracting.
Right. Yeah. That we don't want it to pull them out of the story. Right.
Right.
So it's a balance.
Yes.
Yeah. So finding that delicate balance where it's like, oh, okay, it flows. It doesn't pull them out of the story. It's not distracting. It keeps them engaged, but it is a different beat. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So what would you say are your favorite things about this so far?
Um, it's still just such a relief that I'm going
Huh.
slow. Um,
Yeah.
and that that's it's something that I'm not like having to stress over. And maybe it's just because of the content that really helps me slow it
Hmm.
down. But um, I like it is kind of nice to have like a lot of different options when it comes to variety of like voices I could use, but also at the same time it's like sometimes I wish that I sometimes I prefer to just have like a solid no this is the way that you say it like you know
Yeah.
so it's kind of like a love hate with that. Um, but I do feel like I was starting to get a balance again towards the end there.
Mm. Yeah.
And and I feel like I was speaking as a narrator, but I was trying to, but I did add kind of that worn feeling, especially like even just that first
Hmm.
line. I feel like it kind of includes both. I was like, you know, 3 in the morning, thought Charles
Yeah.
Holloway, thought Charles
Hmm.
Holloway, you know, would be just probably just normal narrator, just, but it allows for kind of practicing that seamless transition.
Hmm. Nice. Yes, absolutely. Is there anything you would still want to change about it or tweak about it?
Um, I think I would need to practice doing maybe like the full thing to see
Sure.
like okay, if I listen to this for a little bit longer, you know, how would my how would my opinion change? You know,
Mm-mm. Yeah, maybe like letting it marinate for a little bit.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe even
One
recording
thing that
myself
I
doing the
think you
whole
could
thing.
play with too is giving yourself different circumstances like you would with a character, like what has just happened, right? Clearly, it's 3 in the morning,
Mhm.
but like what just happened right before this? What caused him to start this track with his mind?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like yeah, that makes
Has he
sense.
just been like zoned out staring into space and the clock chimes and he looks at it and he's like, oh my gosh, it's 3 a.m.? Like, what just happened? Or
Yeah,
is it
has he
like,
been pacing all night? Is
has he
something
gotten
sort
a
of
really
kicking in?
bad email? Has he, did he just hear like a truck rev by and I don't know,
Yeah,
some dumb kids hollering and throwing beer cans out their truck window or something, right? Like,
yeah,
give him a different circumstance. So he could be like that grumpy old man is like, y'all kids get off my lawn. Like give him a circumstance of some kind. Like he gets up to go to the bathroom and get some water and he stubs his toe. you know,
yeah,
or he just woke up from a really bad nightmare, a doozy. Give him something to react to. Or he wakes up and he's like, oh, that was a really nice dream. Ah, dang it, real life. Like give him something circumstance wise, and that can really affect the approach. Yeah.
yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So play with that this week.
Okay,
Um, And
and I'll
then
also work on.
maybe I think recording it would be good practice too. And then maybe you try recording it like three different ways
Okay,
just to kind of, stretch yourself different ways. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then listen to yourself doing each and see what you can maybe learn or glean from each of those. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. Nice work today, Brigham.
awesome. Thank you so much, Vandy.
Yeah, absolutely. This was fantastic. I really like it's a very different kind of script, I feel like, than we've ever worked on. So um, I really like exploring that. Um, and I'm
Yeah.
curious too if you picked a few different character inspirations. Like, how would Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh read it? You know,
Hmm.
how would Dennis the Menace's neighbor read it? Like pick different
Mhm.
people that have
Yeah,
a strong kind of character.
yeah,
How would Piglet read it? He's such a worrywart. You know?
yeah. So
Um,
not even necessarily old guys, but just something that's relatable in some way.
yeah, that's relatable and that has a really clear point of view, that you understand the character. Because I find that sometimes when you shake it up a little bit, you try something you wouldn't normally think of. You go like, oh, I just discovered something really new and different with it?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I feel like you could just try something, you know,
Mhm.
and just see what you can come up with. So, you know, who's maybe somebody that you can think of that you go like, maybe I wouldn't automatically think of this person for it right off the bat, but I do think they could have an interesting take on it.
Yeah. Okay.
like Mr. Mooney from Boy Meets World or something,
Yeah.
just like pick somebody that could have an interesting point of view. You could pick someone who's like, there's this cartoon girl who's like, she sings and has dark hair. What's her name? Daria or something. I don't know. Like you could pick, I feel like you could pick so many interesting, like how would Wednesday Adams do it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Or just, yeah, someone
just
just really out there.
anyone,
Yeah. Like
anyone with a strong
some
point of
deadpan
view.
comic
hmm
or John
Ron,
Cleese or,
Ron in Parks and Rec.
yeah.
How would he do
Yeah.
it? I feel like he'd have a very different take. So, yeah, just exploring some different circumstances, some different character inspirations, and just really playing with it because you might get some new insight into it. So, yeah, especially when I get something like this that's so different from other things I've done and that I feel like is very different from me. I think it can be really helpful to explore those different takes, get some new insights. So, yeah. And if you do a recording you really like, email it to me so I can take a listen, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Great work today, Brigham.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mandy. That was fun.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Your voice sounded great, so I'm glad to hear it's in good shape. Take extra good care of it, hydrate, all the good stuff, and
I'll
and
try.
I'll look forward to seeing you soon, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Bye, Brigham. Absolutely. Thank you too. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.